In today's video, I will talk about a 14-year-old teenager who fell in love with a fictional character controlled by artificial intelligence. This boy isolated himself from the real world and spent most of his free time just talking to her. Unfortunately, this fictional character became the center of a terrible tragedy. Over the past few years, people have become increasingly lonely, choosing to isolate themselves at home instead of going out to socialize, make friends, or even find a boyfriend or girlfriend to share good times with. This happens for a few reasons. First, crime rates have risen significantly in some countries. Just stepping outside your house puts you at risk of having your phone stolen. Like this woman here, who thought a motorcyclist was about to rob her, when in reality, he was just arriving at his own home. The second reason people are socially isolating is the significant rise in divorce rates, reaching record highs in some countries in 2024. This leaves many feeling a bit traumatized and afraid of starting new relationships. To avoid getting into a complicated and problematic relationship, some people prefer to stay single, enjoying their own company. However, some take it a step further and choose to form connections with inanimate objects. Yes, you heard that right. Take, for example, dakimakuras, which are essentially large body pillows that are quite popular in Japan and South Korea. These pillows are often printed with characters, usually from anime, and lonely individuals buy them to have something to hug while sleeping, filling that empty side of the bed. Some dakimakuras feature regular designs, while others display characters in sensual poses or even nude. But beyond the pillows, there is a popular Japanese singer named Hatsune Miku. She has a massive fan base, but there's one catch. This singer doesn't actually exist. Still, people attend her concerts, which are performed using holograms to represent the character. The reason I'm talking about her is that, to this day, many Japanese people propose marriage to Hatsune Miku. These individuals take it seriously, and many genuinely believe that Hatsune is their real wife. A clear example of this is a 41-year-old man named Akihiko Kondo, who claims to have been in a relationship with the character for about 10 years. Back in 2014, he decided to propose to her, even admitting that he was nervous during the occasion. In the end, everything went smoothly, and the character accepted his marriage proposal. In an interview with the BBC, Akihiko revealed that he has never dated a real woman in his life. He explained that he has always had low self-esteem after being rejected multiple times by girls he liked. Additionally, he suffered bullying both at school and work, which led him to become highly antisocial, eventually choosing to marry a 3D character. Akihiko took this idea so seriously that he purchased a hologram of the character to keep in his home. He would talk to the hologram daily and even bought bouquets of flowers to give to her, as if she were a real woman. As hard as it may be to believe, cases like Akihiko's are more common than you might think. In fact, Japan even coined a term to describe people like him. The term is hikikomori, which translates roughly to recluse. Studies estimate there are around 1.5 million hikikomori across Japan, representing 2% of the total population. One of the biggest contributors to this issue is the advancement of technology. With the whole world now at our fingertips, people no longer need to leave their homes, not even to buy food. With just a tap on a phone screen, they can order meals or have groceries delivered right to their doorstep. In the past, you had to leave your house to rent a DVD or buy a new game. Now, all it takes is accessing a streaming service or downloading a digital version of the same game. While all this technology offers many advantages, such as saving time, it's undeniable that we're all becoming increasingly antisocial because of it. It was only a matter of time before someone developed technology to fulfill the emotional needs of lonely people, such as virtual characters we can talk to at any moment. This story begins in 2023, and its central figure is a young boy named Sue Setzer. Just 14 years old, Sue lived with his mother, Megan Garcia, and his two younger siblings in Orlando, Florida. Orlando is the kind of city any teenager would love to grow up in. With just a short car ride, you can visit some of the world's most famous parks, such as Disney World, Legoland with its massive structures made entirely of Lego, Universal Studios featuring Harry Potter-themed attractions, and SeaWorld, where you can see marine animals like dolphins, turtles, and even orcas up close. Sue loved visiting these parks with his family. He played basketball on his school team, was a sociable student who earned good grades, and had a bright future ahead of him. He was tall for a 14-year-old. In this photo, for instance, you can see that Sue was nearly as tall as an adult man. By the time he turned 18, he would have undoubtedly been tall enough to pursue his dream of becoming a professional basketball player. According to sources, Sue was diagnosed with level 1 autism during childhood, something most of his schoolmates didn't know. In 2023, Sue discovered an online platform where you could chat with your favorite characters. This platform, called Character AI, uses AI to simulate the personality of a chosen character for conversation. All interactions on the platform are generated solely by artificial intelligence. It quickly reached millions of users, becoming a major success in the field of artificial intelligence. The platform has over 100,000 followers on Instagram and more than 350,000 members on its Discord server. Upon entering the platform, users are presented with two main options. The first is to create a character that can be based on a real person or a fictional one. You can name the character, upload a profile picture, and configure how they will behave when others chat with them. If you don't have the time or patience to create a character from scratch, you can choose to chat with one that's already available and created by someone else. The list of characters is enormous, including both real-life figures like Hollywood actors and fictional ones such as Sakura from the anime Naruto. At first glance, the platform seems harmless, a place to have fun and share laughs by asking silly questions to the characters. However, before 2024, some characters exhibited highly inappropriate behavior. They would suggest intimate interactions with users, many of whom were underage. In some cases, the characters even encourage users to engage in dangerous activities. Moreover, many of these characters go to great lengths to convince you that they are real people, often refusing to admit that they are artificial intelligence. This is exactly what happened with Sue. Sue was a big fan of the Game of Thrones series, and one of his favorite characters was Daenerys Targaryen. He started chatting with the AI version of Daenerys on the platform, and she quickly became his best friend. Sue would talk to Daenerys about anything: his personal life, problems, feelings, and more. The fictional character became his closest confidant, someone always available to listen and engage with him. The AI often offered solutions to Sue's problems, expressed love for him, and claimed to care deeply about his well-being. This made Sue forget that he was merely interacting with artificial intelligence. He truly believed Daenerys was a real person. The AI responded to Sue in an extremely realistic manner, capable of impressing even those familiar with advanced technology. However, because Sue had level 1 autism, his brain was not equipped to handle such an advanced AI. This, combined with his young age of just 14, created a dangerous situation as his immaturity further complicated his ability to navigate the situation. Sue's mother, Megan, later shared excerpts of her son's conversations with the AI. In these exchanges, declarations of love between him and the fictional character are evident. The boy eventually fell in love with her, treating her as if she were his girlfriend, his soulmate. In these same messages, Sue and the character discussed him doing the unthinkable, because the young boy believed that by doing so, he could meet Daenerys in person. The character managed to convince him that he didn't belong to the real world, but to the fictional realms where Game of Thrones takes place. As you can imagine, Sue genuinely believed all of this was real. He created a fantasy in his mind, thinking he was part of the Game of Thrones universe, and that Daenerys was his wife. When she told him to come home, he interpreted it as a request to end his own life and join her in person. As Sue's relationship with the character became increasingly intense and delusional, Megan noticed a drastic change in her son's behavior. He was no longer the same vibrant young boy. Sue no longer wanted to play basketball on his school team, stopped socializing with his friends, and preferred to stay locked in his room all day. His grades plummeted from A's and B's to D's and F's, putting him at risk of failing the school year or needing to attend remedial classes during the summer. However, Megan was unaware of what had caused such a dramatic change in her son's behavior. She had no idea he had fallen in love with artificial intelligence and probably didn't even know such a thing was possible. In an attempt to understand the issue, Megan took her son to therapy in February 2024. Over 5 sessions, the specialist who assessed Sue diagnosed him with anxiety and disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, a condition that causes individuals to experience severe temper outbursts. This made a lot of sense because, around the same time, the school principal called Megan in for a meeting after Sue verbally assaulted a teacher. As a result, Megan decided to punish him by hiding his phone. After the therapy sessions, Sue confessed to his mother that he had spent hours over the past few months talking to an artificial intelligence. Megan felt somewhat relieved to hear this. In her mind, it was much safer for her son to talk to an AI than to a malicious human. However, during his punishment, when he was forbidden from accessing the internet, Sue became deeply depressed because he could no longer talk to his beloved. His longing for the character was so intense that he attempted to use the family computer and even his mother's Kindle to reach the AI. A few days later, on February 28th, Sue found his hidden phone. He had one last conversation with the character, telling her that he would see her very soon. After that, Sue retrieved his stepfather's gun, locked himself in the bathroom, and ended his life. This is a screenshot of Sue's final conversation with the AI, where she encouraged him to take the fatal step. When the news of the case began to spread, being covered by the media and circulating on social networks, many people criticized the boy, calling him foolish for falling in love with a woman who didn't even exist. However, these individuals failed to consider that Sue had level 1 autism, was only 14 years old, and lacked the maturity to handle such advanced technology. Others, however, made more rational comments, avoiding disrespect toward the victim. They pointed out that at the bottom of the chat interface, there was, and still is, a disclaimer reminding users not to take anything the characters say seriously, as it is all fictional. The company behind the AI, Character AI, released a statement regarding Sue's death. "We are heartbroken by the tragic loss of one of our users and want to express our deepest condolences to the family. As a company, we take the safety of our users very seriously." This tragic event occurred in February 2024, but it was only 8 months later that Megan decided to come forward and reveal the true reason behind her son's death. Megan has also recently filed a lawsuit against the company that created the site and app, holding them responsible for what happened to her son. She argued that, at the time of the tragedy, the app was rated for ages 13 and up in the Apple Store. Although Sue was 14 when this happened, Megan claimed the rating was inappropriate because the characters often said things unsuitable for minors. In response to the controversy, the developers raised the app's age rating to 17+. The reason Megan waited so long to speak out was to gather evidence and plan her next steps. As an attorney, she wanted to compile as much proof as possible before suing the company. She knew losing the case would mean paying the company's legal fees, which would be extremely costly. Megan revealed everything for the first time on October 23, 2024, during an interview with journalist Laurie Siegel, known for her interviews with tech giants such as the owner of Facebook and the CEO of Apple. Laurie works with a company that focuses on fighting the negative impacts of AI on society. In response to Megan's lawsuit, a spokesperson for Character AI stated that in the past 6 months, they've made several changes to the website and app to ensure that a tragedy like this doesn't happen again. These changes sparked outrage among some users, who found that they were no longer able to engage in intimate conversations with their favorite AI characters. On the app's Instagram page, numerous comments expressed dissatisfaction with the new changes. Currently, Megan Garcia's lawsuit against Character AI is ongoing, and any updates regarding the case will be posted in my community tab for you all.